Hi, this is Henning Cummings with the Tarleton State University Aquaponics Hydrotron, and today we're going to be talking about hand watering. So the hand water that we're going to use comes from the sumps that catches what leaches through our hydroponic systems, and we're going to need about 3 cans to water everything. So we'll start on this side of the greenhouse. We don't hand water the carnivorous plants because we don't want to add any nutrients to these, only rainwater. We don't want to add even groundwater that has our salts in it. They'll get all the nutrients they need from the animals that they consume. So the bench doesn't get any irrigation, it's automatic, so this is a hand watering station, and we'll just put a little bit on these snake plants. They're succulent, so it doesn't take much. And then we're going to hand water the cucumbers on this side. And they also have a sump that collects what moves through the root zone, but we still don't want to harvest them too much. This is a good time to see what's going on. We want to make sure these English cucumbers are hanging straight so they don't have a J shape to them, and that they get about this size right before the harvest. So this is about the time we harvest them. When they get to be about this much, they've grown up and they've grown back down, and we only have 1 or 2 fruit on it. It's about the life expectancy of this plant, and it's better to just take it down and start fresh. So we're going to hand water and weed some of the pet plants we have in here, like this staghorn fern. We're just going to always weed. Come over here and take a look at this common yellow wood sorrel. Every time we see this weed, we want to get it and get its roots when we pull it out. This is the worst weed in the greenhouse because it can shoot its seed from one pot to the next, and this pink thing is a stolon that can make more plants, so it's hard to pull the whole thing out. So here you can see we're starting fresh, and this plant needs to be pruned, so we'll talk about pruning here in a moment. So what we want is for this vine to follow this string all the way up to this top wire before it makes any fruit. So we want all of our energy into growing straight up. So we're going to pinch off everything that makes it not vegetative growth following the string. So it's too soon to form a cucumber or a lateral branch, so we're going to pull those off. Pull off the branch and the flower. Pull off the branch and the flower. Pull off the branch and the flower. And you don't have to go right here. We'll get it eventually. We just want to make sure we don't get that growing point. And then what we do is get the string pinched in the hinge and try to get it underneath a branch that's going to hold the weight of the cucumber that's coming. So looking for the common yellow wood sorrel. So we're getting ready to talk about these 2 cucumbers right here. We've got a cucumber that has had a lot of its dead branches removed, and all the growth from this is way over there. And all of this growth over here is from that pot over there. So it's about the end of its life cycle. It's not making a lot of cucumbers, a lot of reproductive growth. So it's about time for all of this to come down and start over. So we'll get this cucumber pruned. What we're going to do is pinch the string and the hinge of this clamp. And then we're going to roll off the bud and any lateral growth down in here, and we'll just leave the top part alone if you're worried about, we just don't want to pinch off the growing point right there. So hand watering, this edge of the bench doesn't get watered very well, so this is a place to use our sump collection water. We just put a little bit of nutrients all the time on some of these peppers here. Some of these peppers, because there's nutrients in this sump water. And then we're hand watering. And we're looking for vines that are gonna produce low-hanging fruit that could be have their shape distorted by touching something solid on the ground. So we want to always have it supported up here. So there's more fruit coming, and we want it to just hang and not form a J shape. Got some peppers started here. We're just going to give them a little bit of this sump water so they have some nutrients. Oftentimes we'll have things started in these trays. We'll want to give them some of the nutrients in this sump water. Specialized plants like this citronella, we want to make sure they don't dry out, so we'll hit them with some of the nutrients in here. And then this cucumber, now that I've watered it, we're just too soon for it to put out fruit. So we're pinching off the fruits and the lateral buds, and this was the main growth. And we'll just leave that top part alone until it gets up to this wire. So there's some more hand watering that's important to do in the greenhouse. The only water this citrus tree gets is from hand watering. And then these tomatoes are set up to only get aquaponics fish water, which isn't enough nutrients to grow fruiting plants. So we have to supplement their water with the nutrients that's in the hydroponic solution. Watering of some of the things in starters. We don't always have these many plants started, but we're just getting ready to teach the aquaponics class in the springtime. We're always trying to improve the process, but it's important that we all do it the same way. So we're catching water that comes out of the towers. So I'm gonna move this nasturtium plant into a bucket that has less water in it. And then this water will put on the moringa trees. And there's a couple of these. This is primarily the way they get watered. There's a common yellow wood sorrel weed in here. So I want to make sure that when I'm hand watering, I get that weed in as much of the roots of it as I can. Instead of adding more soil to this pot, we need to pick this whole root ball up and just add soil to the bottom of this pot. Come on out here, we'll show you the wicking bed. So the idea of the wicking bed is the nutrients are in the bottom reservoir, and rooting plants like onions grow down to the nutrients below, and that way the part we eat wasn't submerged in the aquaponics water.